everybody, Ian from RTO here. Hope everybody is well on another sticky hot day. So today we're looking at a really good progressive metal band from Norway called Pagan's Mind. I got into these through a friend. She's responsible for me liking quite a few bands. Her name's Catherine. I'm sure she won't mind me mentioning her name. If it wasn't for Catherine, I wouldn't be listening to Threshold now, Cloudscape, Beyond Twilight. So there's two bands there that we've already ranked. That it's all down to Catherine. And the other band she introduced me to was Symphony X. Again, I'm going to be doing a ranking of Symphony X because they are a terrific band. But this is one of my favourites that she introduced me to. They've released 5 albums, and it's been the same lineup all the way through. They started off with 2 guitarists, but one of them left in 2003, and sadly he died of cancer in 2007, and that was Thorstein Amby. So the rest of the band are Niels Carew, who's the lead vocals. Then we've got Jorn Viggo Lofstad guitar, Steiner Kuramono on bass, Ronnie Tinga on guitar, on keyboards, and Stan Kristofferson on the drums. I like every album by this band. There's not one track that I don't like. I would say this is probably the hardest ranking that I've had to do, because I had to literally sit and listen to all 5 albums. I sat down one afternoon, I think one Sunday afternoon, and I just played the lot. And I sat there and kept making little notes of each song. And how I've done this, it's just purely on my favourite albums. It's so hard. So I'm sure some of you out there have got different rankings. Please put me in your comments, and say, is it difficult to do this? It's so hard. If I could have an equal 5th place, I would, or equal 1st, because that's how good these albums are. I just had to really look at the tracks and look at the production, look at that sort of thing, and so this is what I come up with. It'll probably change next week if I did it again, but I think I changed it 3 times already, so this is the final one. So here we go. So coming in at number 5 is the band's debut album from 2000, Infinity Divine. This was a great album for your debut. I can't fault it. Unfortunately, you've got to have one at 5 and one at 1. It's just, this has been so hard, so if I do upset people, I'm sorry, but I found this so hard to do. So the tracks on here: Prelude to Paganism. It's one thing about this band, you always get a little intro at the beginning. This is just on the keyboards. It's very eerie, and then it goes straight into Caught in a Dream. What an opening this is! That riff is just out of this world. Great opening track. Then you get the title track, Infinity Divine. This is a fast rocker. Got some nice keyboards in this, and you get the guitar riffs that actually work round the keyboard and not the keyboard round the riffs. Superb track. Great vocal from the, I can never remember his name, Niels Carew. He is just a terrific singer, very underrated. Then we get Embracing Fear. Again, this has got a great keyboard start. And this album's got the 2 guitars on it, and it's just amazing what they do. It's great riffing, Great solo, brilliant. Next track, Astral Projection. Oh, again, this is my favourite track on the album, and it's one of my favourite tracks by the band. It's got a driving riff. It's just the best track. Nice twin. Blah, blah. Shall I start again? Nice twin guitar solo on this. They play off each other, lovely. Brilliant track. Then we get Angel Serenity, another solid track. Top to bottom, these tracks are just classic progressive metal rock, brilliant. Then we get the Dawning of Nemesis. Sorry, it's very sticky today. I'm a bit irritable. Slower track, very good song, and the vocals again superb. Then we get King's Quest. This is just another great progressive metal track. Got all them elements that you expect. Great keyboards, great drumming. The drumming on this album is absolutely blinding. Then we get Twilight Arise. Another great drumming performance. It's got that. You can imagine the sound it creates. You can see how hard he's hitting or not hitting. Terrific, and the solo in it is just mind blowing. And the last track on the album, A New Beginning. Again, that is as solid as you like. Fantastic album. I play these albums all the time, and although it's a brilliant album, it's number 5, and it gets an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10 because it is just an amazing album. Okay, then coming in at number 4 is the second album, and I do believe this is the first album I actually heard by them. Came out in 2002, Celestial Entrance. And again, another solid album. Oh, this was so hard. First track is another great opening. Keyboards, it's called Approaching. This is a bit longer, it's 2 minutes 48. It builds and builds, and then it goes straight into Through Iris's Eyes. This is a great song. Riffs are good, fantastic keyboard. Heavy, fast, melodic, absolutely amazing track. Then Entrance Stargate, it just keeps on with this continually great music. Great riff, it's a bit different but just great. That great prog metal bass line, and that it's quite a grungy bass line in this, it's terrific. And then we get Of Epic Questions. This is classic prog metal. That keyboard start, and then the guitars come in, the drumming is brilliant, and another solid vocal. Then we get Dimensions of Fire. Solid track, great vocal, really good drums in this. It just gets better and better. Then we get Dreamscape Lucidity. Great riffs in this. It just rocks. Play it loud. All I'll say, play this band loud. Sounds great under the headphones as well. Then we get the 7 Sacred Promises. This has got a great solo, and the shredding in this is unbelievable. It's so melodic, it's awesome. Then we get it's a part 2 track. It's called the Back to the Magic of Childhood. It's split into 2 parts, but basically it's one track. First one being 246 and the second part 917. This is probably one of their best tracks ever. It's that classic progressive rock epic. You've got the great vocal, you've got amazing keyboard parts, you get the shredding, you get the solos, you get the dirty riffs. Just terrific. You know, it's nearly 10 minutes of brilliance. Then we get In Brilliant Light. I like this. It's a quiet track, and it's got some delicate keyboards. That's what makes it really special. And then we get Aegean Shores. Oh, it's great riff and solo to start. This is that, it opens like that, and it carries on in that vein. A really solid track. Then we get the Prophecy of Pallades, another great epic, another 8-minute special. It's got all the elements, and it's one of the best vocals on this. Again, this album is such of high quality. It gets an RTO ranking of 8.5. Terrific album. Okay then, coming in at number 3 is their 4th album. Came out in November 2007. God's Equation. This is sort of a concept album. It is superb, absolutely superb. Starts off with the conception. Love the start of this again, all that eeriness, the keyboards. It sort of starts the mood of the album. Then we go straight into the title track, God's Equation. Love the guitar at the start of this. Some great riffing, and the shredding again is just top draw. But the best bit is this fast drum beat. How he keeps time to it, it's unreal. And you can hear them double bass going. It's terrific. Then we get United Alliance. This is one of my favourite tracks as well. Love the keyboard. Then you get some great riffs and a tremendous vocal performance on this. Then Atomic Firelight, another stonker, absolutely out the top draw. All them superb elements of this band, that distinctive bass and drum start, doesn't get any better than that. Then we get Evolution Exceeded. This is quite a weird start, it's a bit techno, but then power income, them heavy riffs that you expect from Pagan's mind. It's absolutely stonking. Then we get Alien Kamikaze. Oh, the bass line in this is one of the best bass lines in any of their songs. It's so heavy and dirty and grungy, and the vocal is amazing. There's lots of screeching. Even Ian Gillan would have been proud of this. It's that good. Terrific vocal. Then we get Painted Skies. Again, just so solid, this album. I cannot knock any of these tracks. Then we get Spirit Star Cruiser. This has got some of the best shredding you'll ever hear. The keyboard are just awesome. The shreddings work around the keyboard. It's just amazing. Then we get a little thing called Farewell. This is a nice acoustic number with a great solo that's just mind-blowing. And then we got Orisis Triumph Return, another of them great epics. All them elements that make this band so good, and it is such a brilliant track. Again, this album is just solid from start to finish. Not a bad track again. This doesn't happen very often, me not finding a bad track, but there isn't a bad track. So it gets a RTO ranking of 9. I just love the album. Okay then, top 2. Again, this was so hard just to get these 2 in the right order, let alone all 5. But I went with their 5th album, came out on 20th of May 2011, Heavenly Ecstasy. Mind-blowing album. First track, Contact, another of those great Pagan Mind intros, 48 seconds of keyboard and eeriness, and then it goes straight into a belter called Eyes of Fire. Again, this one's got that Middle Eastern feel to it. And what I've noticed in the last few weeks listening to a lot of this stuff, prog bands do love that Middle Eastern sound. There's lots of albums I've got that have got that sound from the Middle East. Terrific song, absolutely belter. Then we get Intermission, another eerie start, and then into a great progressive metal track. the usual keyboard runs, the guitars, the shredding. It's just unbelievable. Then we get into the aftermath. This is classic Pagan's Mind. You get that dirty riff and drum together, then the grungy riffs, and then the vocal again is just brilliant, solid. Then we get Walk Away in Silence. This is more rocky than proggy. It's a great track, really good rock track. Then we get Revelation to the End. This has got the best shredding on any of their albums. It is magnificent. It is just, this track is just superb. It's the best track on the album. It's very hard to explain, but you've got to listen to it yourself. They're all on Spotify if you've never heard this band. Then we get Follow Your Way. Great keyboard start. Then them drums come in. Then that familiar bass line and that bang, bang, bang sound. Terrific, brilliant stuff. Then we get Live Your Life Like a Dream. This is a slow driving rocker. It's got some piano in this instead of just ordinary keyboard. It's very, very good. His master's voice. Great fast rocker. Screeching vocals. Now, if you remember from yesterday what I said about that, I don't like shouting. Unless you've got the voice, this guy seems to do it and you can understand what he's saying. Just makes this track, and the shredding again is superb. Then we get When Angels Unite. This is a very short track, nice piano. It's just piano and keyboards and vocal, terrific. Then we get Never You Walk Alone, a solid track, great solo, great way to end the album. And this gets, again, it's a superb album. It gets an RTO ranking of 9.4 out of 10. This was a struggle, but in the end I went for my number one pick. Third studio album, came out in 2005, Eggmatic Calling. This is the perfect prog metal album. It's one of my favourite prog metal albums of all time. It's everything that you expect when you mention the word progressive metal. So the first track is the Celestine Prophecy. This is probably the best vocal on any of the albums. It's daunting, it's screechy, it's everything. Just a brilliant, brilliant track. Then we get Eggmatic Mission. What I like about this, the guitar riff at the start, it sounds like you're hearing it on a radio, and then all of a sudden it comes in properly, and it just blows you away. It's such a heavy, heavy, heavy solo as well. Then we get Supremacy Our Kind. This is my favourite Pagan's Mind track ever. It's just the riff is heavy, dirty, and a swirling keyboard that just makes this perfect. The vocal is just good. Then it drops into a slower pace of the song, and then the keyboard turns into a piano. It's just top drawer. It's superb. Never get tired of listening to that track. Entrance to Infinity, another great track. It's as good as Supremacy Our Kind. It sort of follows on, and I can't knock it. Then we get an instrumental called Coming Home. Oh, this is just full of solos, shredding, drums, keyboard. Great prog rock, great prog rock. Too good, too good. Then we get Celestial Calling, another stonker in a song. They're all of the same sort of thing, but there's just little bits that make a wow, and that's one of them tracks. Taken. This has got the best solo of all the albums. Great track. Resurrection in Time, Back in Time. Great solid track. Superb. Then we get appearance. It's just a lovely little 1 minute 52 keyboard solo. Brilliant. Search for Life. This is a really nice power ballad. It is superb, but the solo is just mind-blowing again. And then we end up with the New World Order. A great solid rocker to end the album. And it gets an RTO ranking of 9.5. On the whole, this band are one of my favourite progressive metal bands. And what is nice as well, it's the same band all the way through, and they as they've got on, they've just got better and better and better. Okay, before we go, just a quick reminder: Thursday night, 7 p.m, another live streaming. Just a bit of catch up on what's been going on behind the back, in the back room, what we've been up to. Got a good topic to talk about. We're going to talk about bands that when they came out back in the day, we thought they were the bee's knees, and now when we listen to them, we sort of cringe. It could upset a lot of people, but there are bands out there that just don't do it anymore, and it's a shame, but that's life. I'll try and get the interaction working. I didn't quite get it right last week, apparently, according to my PR guru Michelle, but I think I've sussed it this week. If I don't suss it, if anyone knows how to do it, please let me know. Okay, I'll be back shortly with a retro ranking. I love doing these, they are absolutely fantastic. We're doing Mud today, so it'll be about memories of that and that. So see you soon and take care for now.